Dear Masma, we are live. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Hello everyone. Assalamu alaikum. I hope everybody is doing well. First of all, I would like to have a warm welcome to all our participants joining from around the world. I'm very happy that you guys joined our tonight's session, and of course, you will learn a lot of things. First of all, I would like to have a short introduction of myself. My name is Masma Yusufi, and I am honored to moderate today's mentorship session. I'm a youth leader and active member of Women Ascension, and also leading WAPJ at Women Ascension as a head, and have dedicated myself to helping girls and young women access education and opportunities. Even in challenging circumstances in Afghanistan, I try to uh, empower girls here. It is a privilege to guide this conversation on the role of communities in driving meaningful change. I would like to have a very short introduction about Women Ascension. So before we begin, I would like to briefly introduce the global initiative behind today's session. Women Ascension is a movement committed to empowering women and youth to become agents of positive change. In addition, it is active in over 130 countries. The organization fosters leadership, learning, and collaboration while promoting equity, inclusion, and justice. Thirdly, through this initiative, like the 1 Million Leadership Program 2030, Women Ascension equips participants with practical skills and ethical decision making and the confidence to lead initiatives that uplift communities and transform lives. Now let me tell you about the topic of tonight's session. Today we will discuss or focus on community engagement and grassroots action. Our discussion will explore the topics like how community-focused leadership can drive sustainable social change, and then ways grassroots initiatives address local challenges, build solidarity, and empower groups. And the next topic will be about practical strategies for mobilizing communities, uh, uh, organizations, and strengthening trust through inclusive participation. And moreover, you will learn about real-life examples of citizen-led initiatives, advocacy efforts, and bottom-up movements that inspire change. And, and lastly, you will learn about understanding the potential of local communities, which is very important and essential for fostering resilience, equity, and lasting social impact. Uh, Engaging at the grassroots level allows us to create solutions that truly reflect the needs and aspirations of people. So about our mentorship, I want to say that at Women Ascension, mentorship is a path to shared growth and learning. These sessions give us the chance to gain insights from experienced leaders like our today's mentorship or our great speaker, helping us navigate challenges and build communities that are inclusive, just, and vibrant. Now, the most important part of our session, I would like to introduce our beloved professor who will teach us a lot of things today. We're privileged to welcome Mrs. Ina Lula, an educator, volunteer, and advocate for displaced communities. She is originally from Ukraine and currently based in Greece. Ina has spent several years supporting Ukrainian women and children displaced by conflict. Moreover, she teaches Greek to refugees, and also she helps families with school enrollment and helps them adapt to new communities with dignity and confidence. Lastly, about her hard work demonstrates and also issues the power of community-centered action, empathy, and leadership in fostering resilience and positive change. So I would like to invite our great speaker. With great pleasure, I now would like to invite Mrs. Ina Lula to take the floor and share his insights on community engagement and grassroots action. So, Miss Ina, if you can hear me, the stage is yours. You can continue.
Yeah, hello, Masuma and everyone who came today. So nice to see you all. Thank you for coming. Thank you for introducing me and My name is Anna Lalu Pastushenko. I am the one who is going to tell you today about my experiences, my ideas, and hope to inspire you with some ideas which could be practically applied in your societies and in your neighborhoods, or maybe these ideas will help you to come with some ideas which could be, uh, really inspirational for some other people, so you can share and change someone's lives and some communities. And I hope this session will be really helpful. So today's session is really very important, and we are talking about community engagement and grassroots action. I am going to talk today mainly about what we can do for women and girls, and I will talk mainly about societies where there are problems, restrictions, and difficulties for women and girls, mainly about regions where there are restrictions from the law, or let's say distant or very poorly financed areas. So what we could do there. But I will also talk about situations when you have communities of displaced people there in new areas in other countries, and how they could get together, and what they can do for themselves. So practically, when we say about community, and we have in mind like many people together doing something, but practically community actions can start with action of one person, because it's always like first an idea, somebody thinks, oh, it would be nice to do this, and then we need this person to have courage to do the first steps, to talk to other people about this idea, to see how this idea could be practically done, and then start acting on this idea. So, if we start acting, we definitely will bring some changes. They could be very small, but they can be really big. As an example of a small change, which is positively influence the society or small community, I can give you an example of what happened when COVID started. I live in Greece, and let's say it's quite dense populated area. And in big cities, people don't know each other. The neighborhood is not neighborhood anymore. It's like many strangers living together. And I live in a small town where we are supposed to be more organized and smaller community, where people know each other, or at least when we see someone, we know that this person lives in our town. But because we have this busy life and everybody is doing and going somewhere, working, children at school, nobody practically really knows the neighbor. And when COVID started, we were restricted to go outside of our houses. And when we were allowed to go outside, we needed to send an SMS message saying where we go. And it was permitted to go maximum 2 kilometers from our home. And people could not resist to stay all day in homes. So we decided to go for walks in the afternoon. And the adults started walking around and meeting the neighbors, because they were walking around as well. So we were like re-knowing each other. And people who had small kids, they were gathering in specific areas of the streets and closing this area. And the kids were playing together, and it was like old nice neighborhood life. And it was an example of how the circumstances can influence small communities and let us, get together, have some activities together, feel more people, let's say, together between us. This led to the situation that after the restrictions were taken away and COVID have passed, these people again started, gathering even without reason, like going from home to home, doing stuff together, traveling, being closer each one to each one. So this was a circumstance that influenced the situation. In other cases, when we have people who are old and they don't go to work anymore and they are staying at home all day alone, and it's really not nice for them because you get bored, sometimes you need some help, and elderly people generally like they want to be around other people, and young people don't have time for elderly, let's say. So what we have in Europe, we have these groups of elderly who get together and they periodically meet, like every Saturday or once a week or twice a week, and they do some stuff together. So in this way, the community of this age, let's say, get together, they spend time, they have fun, they love meeting each other, saying their news and spending time. When they are better organized, they do festivals like once a year. They collect, some music bands. They come with music. They are eating. They are having fun, listening to music, like spending like festival weekend, let's say. They often travel, like they decide to go for a 1 day travel. So they rent a bus and they organize together and they go for this trip, and they are living really their best life because somebody thought of what can we do for this group of people and start acting, saying to this age category that we have this idea, and if you would like to join, come and join. And this is how small action can bring people together, or some circumstances can bring people together. And this is where we are, let's say, in the areas where it's nice and easy to get organized. But what happens when we are talking about areas where people live far away from each other, live in difficult circumstances, have restrictions, where women and girls don't have the same rights, or they are not allowed to go, let's say, to school or to get together and to have this nice and sweet life with festive stuff. So, this is the next thing which we are going to talk together today, and it's what we can do for young people and for women when the situation is not that light. So, first of all, we need to see where we are. Start with what we have. What are the conditions in the area where we want to take some actions? Who are the people who could take the steps to take these actions? What is allowed in this country or in this area? What we can practically do and who can practically do this? For example, if we are talking about areas where women and girls are restricted, but men have the power, maybe we can arrange a man to do some activities for girls and women. Or maybe this man can influence some other men who have the power to decide and to allow something and to make some activities for these women. Uh, Another one which we need to see, what are the local traditions? Maybe in this area, like the restrictions are so strong that women practically cannot go outside of their houses. Then we need to see what can be done oppositely. If they cannot go from their houses or they are not allowed to go outside alone with men, maybe they can come with their men to house of their neighbor or their relative and meet with other women there. So we practically need to understand the situation in the area where we thinking about activities and uh, see what are the most possible options in order to apply whatever could be done in that place and that area. So if you cannot meet in public, see if you can meet in houses. How you can arrange it, like say that we are doing a family gathering. So we can invite, let's say, couple of families in our house today. So ladies can meet together and discuss something or do something together. Next week we go to other couple's house and we meet there. So it doesn't look like everyone all the time comes to your home, but it looks like it's normal meetings, between friends or families, and it doesn't look suspicious, let's say. But when ladies meet in such groups, for example, they can teach each other, they can do some activities together, and this will at least make them feel more alive, more organized. Definitely will bring some ideas. For example, if we are talking about education, if somebody is educated and some other is not, this will give them an opportunity to educate the person who is not educated using whatever is available at home. We have at home, I don't know, potatoes. You learn counting on potatoes, on rice, on whatever. You have some, I don't know, old newspapers, some magazines, something. You start reading whatever is available. You have possibility to have like to learn writing. Use whatever is available to learn writing. You are living in a distant village. There is nothing like this. Okay, write on the sand. Whatever is available under any circumstances. Uh, it's always the way out. It's always opportunity to use whatever is available around to do things you want. If we talk about education, if we talk about health, elderly people always know more than younger one. So elderly people can teach the younger generation what to do, how to act in some specific situation. When we are talking about girls and ladies, as girls' body changes in teens and they start menstruating, ladies need to talk about this to the girls so they can know what's going on with them and what to expect and not to be afraid because in majority of countries it's kind of taboo. So people don't talk about it. And then one day girl sees bleeding and she's like, oh, what's going on? I'm dying. So there are a lot of things that could be done by talking. So we can talk about tradition, we can talk about ideas, we can talk about stories from the past and teach younger generation when we are just gathered and we are talking. And if somebody comes and you need to stop, you just stop. So there are no evidences of something that is not allowed and you do it because this is oral, you discuss it and that's it. So even talking could be a kind of organizing the community, influencing this community in some way. Always talking could be used, and it was used from ancient periods, when the teacher was working and the students were working with them. In ancient Greece, we had several very known people who were doing like this, like Aristotle, like Socrates. They thought that when you are working and you are talking to your students, it brings ability to their minds to think better, to understand situation better, to have like better ideas. So talking is one of the easiest and simplest way to organize and to influence people which are around you. Girls, women, boys, all together. Then, what we can do when we have societies where girls are not forbidden interact with boys and are not forbidden to go out and spend time uh, like on their own. So here we need to integrate kids, girls and boys to do stuff together, to respect each other, to think about each other, to support each other. So mixed gender youth groups are one also very important tool for collaboration between children. Children are very enthusiastic always, so you can use this technique to let them do something together in many occasions. You can make a cleanup, like you decide which area you would like to clean and give them opportunity to work together. You can make like dancing festival. Boys and girls are dancing either together or teams, girls and boys are dancing. It could be singing when they come all together. In many countries, they have amazing course where we have lace and uh, boys and girls singing together. You can make different activities when they have handcraft, and there are plenty of things which could be done with mixed gender youth teams. Elderly is a big story. It's I think, one of the biggest overlooked options in modern society, because elderly, they know so many things. Majority of them, they are quite wise people, and they can teach younger generation many things. They also very influential in majority of societies, so we need to use them at most. And when we have areas where there are restrictions for girls and for women, we need to ask elderly to participate, like to come and to bless women gathering, to come and to talk at women gathering, talking about possibility that women can gather and do something together. And because they are male and they are older, and they will be accepted easier by male society, their word could weight a lot, and this could help in some activities in some cases when women want to do something altogether. Building trust and inclusivity is a very important thing for ladies when we are talking about activities for women. Because when we decide to do something, to organize something, we need to be courageous, because especially in the areas where it's not welcomed or it's not easy, there will be people who will not support or will talk against you or will try to create some problems, some issues. So if we decide to do something, we need to evaluate what will happen if we start it, and if we are ready and we believe that it's okay, we don't break any law and we can do it. We need to understand that it will take time to get organized and to keep on doing what we are planning to do. So we need to be consistent and keep our promises. If we are consistent and we keep our promises, people will definitely trust us, and more people will come and will want to participate in activities which we promote. Then we also need to understand, the level of people who will come and interact with us. In what emotional state are these people? What literacy these people have. For example, we want to make like a library, a reading club, but majority of people around do not know to read. So it's maybe not easy to attract a lot of people to such kind of activity. So here you need to understand that first I will bring the books which will help these people to learn to read. And then I will bring the books, which will be interesting for them to read. And gradually we could enrich this library to the books which they will be able to read by their own and decide on what topic these books would be, because they now can do it and can appreciate what they want and what they don't. If it's area where it's a war zone or near war zone, or it's an area where there are a lot of refugees for some reason, these people emotionally will be, unstable. They will be anxious. They will be angry. There are a lot of emotions which will influence them. So, if we want to make some activities or organized people who are in this state, we need to think about, first of all, emotional help for these people. So we will need to organize what? The meeting with psychologist. We will need to organize something for kids so they can have some activities and uh, take out the stress through playing, doing some sports, doing some activities which will help them to regulate their emotional state. And then after it, see what other activities we could do for these people. So what are their first needs? This will be the first step which we can provide for them. Then we of course need to think about cultural level of these people. If, for example, the group is very religious, we need to provide them first of all opportunity to serve their religion. If the group is like atheists, they are not caring about gods generally, but they are thinking about, I don't know, music, about theater, then we could possibly do something for these kids like dancing, or for these women like dancing, like singing, like activities which would help them, in their interest. If we are talking about areas where there are restrictions, confidentiality is a very important issue, and we definitely need to see that we respect all the laws, we respect the dignity of these people, we respect the secretness maybe sometimes of what's going on, because it could influence the whole situation and the lives of people who are participating. So it should be always considered. Another thing which often overlooked is inclusivity on all levels, because usually we have people who participate in different activities with normal abilities. We hear, we see, we talk, we walk, we are okay, we are healthy, and we can do the activities. But there are a lot of people with different types of disabilities, which are usually not participating in many activities. There are ladies who are single mothers or widows with children, and they cannot take part in activities because they have this big family and they cannot do anything but working and taking care of the family. And sometimes just working just for getting some money to live. So, what we can do for these women, how we can include these people in our activities. For example, you can do activities for single mothers when you gather single mothers for activity and you have a person who is playing with kids and taking care of kids while these mothers do the activity. So you get these people together and the children are taken care for an hour, two, whatever time of the activity is. Widows are another big category when people in many societies, even in modern Western, they see widows with different eye. Because when you have a complete family and you have a lady who is alone, uh, the ladies from complete families always have like somewhere in back of their mind that a widow is a danger, and then she can like have plans for your husband, and they don't want to be connected to such people, or they try to be distant. So these ladies also need to have opportunities in life. So either you gather them together with singles mothers, or even if there are a lot of widows, like in areas where there is war regions, men are just killed, so there are a lot of widows. So they can get together and try to help each other, to support emotionally, to support with work, to create like for example, activities where they produce something and even sell this something they produce, like pottery, like products from knitting or some other activities, which they not just spend time together, teach each other, talk with each other, but they can even make money from the activities they do. They also can support each other by like I go to work and you keep my kids for 2 hours, and tomorrow you go to work, I keep your kids for some hours. So they can interactively support each other as well. Now, because we have internet almost everywhere, there are a lot of things that could be done through internet, and activities could be done also through internet. And now our conference now is one of these activities, yeah, which is conducted through internet. We are from different places in the world, but we can teach each other, have ideas, exchange ideas, and it's very important. And another thing, when we are talking about local communities or people who are coming to a foreign country, we can create activities which will help them to honor their local languages and their customs and cultures. This specifically seen very brightly on people who are moved from their normal areas of living. So when you go to another place or to another country or to another area, it's important that you gather together and keep your cultural background. So you do a kind of school to keep your language. You can have a library to support your language. You can make some little lessons about songs of your country or your area, dances of your country or your area, famous people of your country. the stories of your country, the fairy tales, whatever has to do with the culture and language, you do these activities using your language, wearing the clothing from your language. If you have some specific holidays and traditions, how you celebrate these holidays, you do it even when you are abroad in other areas. So these people who came with you, you keep your tradition, and this also activity which is influencing your community. So practical examples, as I said, you can make like, as I say, tea conversations when ladies gather in one place, in one house, and they are talking together. And uh, if we are talking about people living under very strong restrictions, it's psychologically helping very much. And it could sound now very simplistic, but practically it gives people an emotion that there is a hope, and I see that other people are living in the same conditions, but when we get together, we can discuss the same issues. We see that others have the same problem, so I'm not alone, and it helps to, to keep going. And when you need some support, maybe some other people know what support you need and can provide this support to you. If you need to learn something, they can teach you or give you ideas what to do. So these type of gatherings are definitely very helpful, and uh, people need to remember about it, especially in very restricted areas. So what are our steps? Practically, when we want to do some actions and to organize our community, we need first to identify the problem. What is the problem? Or if we have an idea, what is our idea which we want to implement? And I will take here an example, like step-by-step method. For example, we have girls who are dropping off the school at puberty. And we say, okay, we have these girls which were coming, now they're not coming. So we have a problem. Then we say that what is our goal? What's the problem? We had like class of 30 kids, and now half of them are not coming, and these half of them who are not coming are the girls. So we want to keep the amount of girls through full academic year until the end, not dropping through the year. And we would like from this 30 at least 20 to be until the end of the year. So then we think who are responsible for these people, and we say it's girls who are not coming, their mothers who are involved majority of times, maybe fathers, the teachers who are involved, they see the girls not coming, and supportive male leaders who could be like a school teacher, could be school director, could be parent of this girl, could be a caretaker of this girl. So we need to understand who influenced this situation. Then we need to realize what activities we need to do in order to achieve our goal of 20 girls through the whole academic year. And we say that, okay, we need to see what's going on with these girls and with their mothers. So we talk to mothers and realize that they need to have like health understanding. So we need to create mother-daughter health workshops. We need to explain to girls, what do you need to do in this and these situations. So probably we also need to support them with some supplies, like creating reusable sanitary supplies. Then, in order to pass all this information, maybe we need to have some groups, private mentorship groups, which would explain to these girls what's going on and how to behave, so they will understand what that in case I have some issues, I do this and this, I don't stop school, I continue coming. So because we have involved a lot of people, we need to assign responsibility to each of them. Like uh, teachers need to see who doesn't come. Parents need to take care of kids and understand when and what they need to do. Mentors who need to make these private mentorship sessions need to know what they need to say, where they come, when they do it, what is the topic, so they can have their responsibilities. Now, when we understand the problem, we know what are the steps, who is involved, and what we need to do. We need to say that we set a timeline and we say, in order to get these girls back to school, we need to do everything within months. But because we have next and next and next classes who will come to the same age and will have the same problem, maybe we need to start talking about it to a class which is 1 year younger. So we set a timeline, for example, at the end of the school year, a month before the school year ends, and say, here we will make a seminar, we will discuss with these children what they could possibly have next year, so we are not in risk like we are in risk now. And of course, we need to consider all the risks which are involved because it could be culturally sensitive, it could be some other issues which we can make, which we can face, and we need to understand what is the best way that this message could pass? What is the best way that this action can be taken and all this plan may come true and that we could educate parents and teachers and children so we avoid this problem? Of course, we always need to see, all the risk and see what is the possibility and what is the minimal risk and what is the best way for the society to accept what we want to bring here. But practically, if we look at this plan more or less, this is what we need to take when we solve a problem or when we plan something and it's not a problem yet, which steps and what options we need to have in mind in order to plan something. Monitoring and evaluating the projects which we want to do. First of all, we need to have things as simple as possible because complexity kills the projects generally, independently of what we are going to do. So we need to have very simple process. It's good to have basic tracking because we say that we have some people involved, we have some timelines, we have some ideas, but it cannot be just an idea. We say we want to make a library. So what we do for library? We need the place, we need the books, we need to take them from somewhere, somebody to bring them. So we have a timeline and we say that by then we need to bring the books. Okay, did we bring? Yes, we did. Do we have the place where we will hold it? Do we have? Yes, we now have. So we just do a basic tracking in any possible way. Spreadsheets, journals, WhatsApp, telephone, calendars, whatever is available. Then it depends on what project we are working. We say collect the stories. Stories in restricted communities are really powerful because we say about something that happened, in neighbors, in the other village, even in other country, but they have similar situation to our country. And when we know about the stories, they empower and help people to do, a lot of things. I think it's Mrs. Mina whose microphone is not silent and we can hear her. If she can silent her microphone. So, at the end of the presentation, I will give some examples of how we can see in all the stories. I don't know how we can put on mute some people who are talking on background. Anyways, so we go next one. Measure what matters. So if we have a project and we want people to go through this project, we need not only deadline, we also need to measure how it goes. Maybe we had something in mind which is not applicable, 100% for everyone, and it's difficult. So we need to see if what we do is going well. If what we do, oh, sorry, I cannot continue like this. Mrs. Mina Nadizada, can you mute yourself, please?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H,
This is example of education, guys. Listen carefully. This lady teaches her child the alphabet, which is very good. Now we can continue. So, when we have a project, we definitely need to measure how this project goes. For example, we said with the girls. Did the girls show up? Yes, they did. Did mothers express the support or didn't? We see the percentage. Did local leaders speak, about this event or not? If they speak positively about this event, if they supported, this school project with girls attending the school all the year, then they can talk to the other schools and see how they can help their students, to attend the school. So this measurement will, first of all, apply, second, influence what's going on. So let's go to the next one. Mini community projects. When we are talking about groups, when we can have something in groups, it's very typical when we have, for example, kid groups, and especially when we are talking about some activities which are cultural, like singing together, dancing together, and these are examples which we will see even a little bit later, where we have group of people taking a small project which could become really huge one, and you can become even like worldwide known. Uh, and it starts like with people gathering together and deciding to do a little bit of something. So we have a person, in order to have group planning, we need a person with idea, people who would like to participate in this project with, which is associated with idea. We need to see that these people are sharing more or less the same values, and they are on the same page. And then you can start, doing this, and see how fast you can have the first results. Usually when you have some like group activities, you can have the results within days or weeks. And in this matter, you can see, some questions and say, if I can answer these questions, maybe it's activity which I can use. So for example, you see, what is one need of this community? For example, we have a village where we have plenty of kids which are on the streets all the day, not going to the school. We need to collect these kids and to make them do something all together. Who are the allies who could collect these kids? What can be realistically, done for them, and if we can realistically start in this month, or how fast we can do this, and what resources do we have already? For example, if we say, let's collect these kids and let's say make a music lesson, or they can dance together. What do we realistically need? We need some music. We need a person who would say, guys, I will teach you some movements. Whoever wants, come. And usually kids like dancing, so they get together very easily. And you have just organize them a little bit in one place and be responsible that you will come in specific dates, specific hours, and you will spend an hour or two with these kids so they know that they have this activity and they will come. What will practically give this activity to these kids? They will have a purpose. They will have a person whom they can trust. They will have organized time, so this will bring them understanding that there is someone who cares, there is something I can do practically. It's fun, it's nice, it's easy, it's enjoyable. And from one end, you will have children which start be organized. On the other hand, you will have less crime, less bullying, less bad behavior because they are getting into other mentality, other idea of people around and about themselves, and it will generally improve the situation in the neighborhood. So a little bit later, I will show you the examples of such activities and what we can practically have as example of projects. For example, for girls in restricted areas, you can have home-based activities like sewing, reading, digital literacy, uh, plenty of other like cooking, whatever ladies can do together, do it together. For young mentor, you can have people who are older than you who can help younger. It could be older students who will help younger girls. It could be ladies who would teach younger girls or young women. It could be medical professionals who are teaching younger children to behave in specific situation. Any older person who can teach something to a younger one would be good. Community wellness walk. It could be applicable for the areas where we have people who are going for resources somewhere. For example, people who going to get some water from some places and bring it to another. People who go to forest to collect wood, to collect woods. People who going to collect berries, whatever, the area where people get together, it's time to discuss. And this time to discuss could be used in a specific way. You can teach people during this, you can bring different ideas and come with something that you will do after you return. So working together in big groups is really a very good time for making things work, for getting to know each other, for deciding on what you will do in your neighborhood. It's very, very productive time. Another Mothers for Education committee, it could be in places where girls are not allowed to school or are restricted. So mothers can get together and start demanding and doing, activities like writing petitions, demanding more hours or access to school, or girls to be allowed to do some stuff. So this depends on the areas how parents can fight for the rights of their children and do practically something for this thing. So what we can say, when we are together, we can grow. And when we start acting on this togetherness, we can definitely rise all together. And now I have 15 minutes. I'm very fast moving to the examples. I would like to talk about these activities for kids. And one very specific example, which I really love very much, are these kids. It's a group which called Hypers Kids Africa, and they are from Uganda. And these kids are living, like you see on this picture, really in very, very, very poor area, in very bad conditions. And there was a gentleman called Moses Butindo who decided to get these kids, from the streets. And he collected 55 children, which were living on the streets practically. And he got them together and they started dancing. And they started like from the street with nothing. There is, drumming situation. As you see, they have some pottery which they use for drumming, and they are dancing. And they start dancing and going, to different festivals here and there, and they go to America Got Talent. And now these kids are living all together in a house. They get donations. They travel to different activities. They have a YouTube channel, 3,300,000 subscribers. Of course, they get money from YouTube channel as well. And this is example then where we have a person who had an idea. No resources, no possibilities, nothing, no technology. Just the wish to organize kids and believe that if you start doing something, you can achieve. And when you start achieving, you can grow and grow and grow and go further and further. And examples like this are quite many. So I have here some examples, like different kid groups, dancers, which are from Uganda, from Ghana, from Kenya, from South Africa, from Zambia. It's all types of kids where we have girls and boys, we have only boys. We have, for example, this one from Zambia. It's a dance academy where different ages of kids are involved, and this is example of how simple it is to get organized and start doing something. You don't need funding and a lot of stuff. It's like a wish and being dedicated to this idea which you want to do, and then it can grow to amazing huge result. Another big example is Mayas. It's a all-female dancing group from Lebanon, and they also got to America Got Talent in 2022, and they won it. and I've seen on YouTube their videos. They are absolutely amazing. And in Lebanon, they are not allowed, to dance like not fully dressed, I would say. And they decided to go, further than in their country. And they have amazing talent. They are very, very good. And they are ladies. And the mission of this group was to show that ladies are capable to do a lot of great things. They could be amazing dancers, that they have equal rights with men, and that they can get, to the top. And they did. So these examples, in my opinion, showing that even in areas with very bad conditions, in countries with big restrictions, there is always space for those who really want to do the difference, for those who want to make a little bit more than the rest and to bring their ideas to life, to help people to do activities that could be done with almost zero resources, and to make, these little community actions grow to huge projects which could become worldwide known. And it's just always up to us to decide and to start acting. So I hope this was interesting, and the steps which I discussed here are actionable, and that people who attended today would be taking these steps or sharing this information with others so they can use it for their societies, and small communities or big communities would do more and more for girls and ladies, and wherever it's possible for mix kids and ladies, and we will make our communities better place for us, definitely much better place for our children. And if you are displaced people, you will keep your culture and tradition in the areas where you are. So this is all for the presentation, and if we have questions, we have 10 minutes to answer the questions. Ladies?
Good afternoon, Mentor Anna.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, thank you very much for such an insightful lesson teaching. Wow, it has been a blessing to me. Now, I'm from Cameroon, and my question is, if it is a community where there are no restrictions, but they are displaced, and then you are not from their background, how I know the challenges will be enormous. How do you break through when you are not from the same background, the same cultural background?
Well, in this situation, when it's often, this problem when there are two kind of populations which, let's say, are very different and unknown to each other. So the first step in such community is to get to know each other better. So each side, each party understands better the other party. So how we can do this practically? If, for example, displaced people are minority, then your, let's say, local people definitely have some organization, like, you have elderly who command, let's say, the society there. So your elderly could talk to the other party and to see how you could both parties meet somehow. Maybe you have a general similar holiday someday. You have some place where you can get together and organize a series of meetings which would talk about your cultural situation, not necessary differences. Like, you talk
Okay.
about your culture and they talk about their, about holidays which they celebrate and what you do, about what are, their maybe dreams about future, do they stay temporarily here, or they are planning and they are planning to return, or they are planning their future in this area? So if they are planning to stay here, you definitely need to get together to understand each other better so you can live peacefully, these two groups. Because usually when there are big differences, at some point it becomes like ghetto. We are here and they're there, and we have crime levels high because children will have bullying between them. Men will be, maybe not aggressive, but definitely it will not be peaceful situation. So in such cases, it's necessary to know each other better and to see how you can interact in the best way between, your two communities, I would say. If you are a minority and people who came there much more, you still need to understand who are they, because in this way you will understand what expect from these people, what are usual things for them, and how to behave. But in any case, when we have two different parts, in one place, we need to understand very well each other. We faced it here in Greece, like in 1990s. Greece was, and they are now, they have a border with Albania. And at some point, there were so many Albanians coming to Greece. They were really like workforce. They were very good builders and whatever is, to do with building. And the ladies who were coming, because majority of them were coming as families, they were working like cleaners and where they were taking care of elders. So they came like like a working force, but they came with their culture, which was different from Greek. And Greeks had a big tension with Albanians for many years, and they still like don't like them. But because later on other nations in big quantities joined the, Greek population, now this assimilation became much better, and we don't have this big difference with other nations who came, including the Ukrainians who came later. Greeks are not trying to understand us, but we definitely try to understand Greeks, because we come here and we live now in new reality. And in order to interact with them smoothly, we need to understand what are these people, what they expect, how do they live, what are the holidays they have. So when we have two groups of different cultures in the same community, we need to understand very well each other, and then we will understand how to live together. This is what I can give as a, as advice. So meetings is the easiest and the fastest way. When you will get to know better, each group, then you can see if you can do something together. Like kids going to the same school, making general holidays there all together involved, making a song festival, making like a dance festival, making celebration generally like, I don't know, a day of your city or of your town. Some activities where you will be involved both. But at the beginning, you need to understand with whom you are interacting, either you minority or majority.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, dear mom. Are you done?
I believe yes.
Okay, perfect, great. Since guys, we don't have enough time, I would like to close our tonight's meeting. First, I would like to thank our dear speaker, Mrs. Ina, for sharing her valuable experiences and perspectives. I really appreciate your hard working and your time. Your work reminds us that meaningful change starts with understanding our communities, our societies, lifting the voices and taking action together. And I would like to have a special thanks to our dear audience. Thank you so much for your participation and engagement. Let us continue inspiring and supporting one another. Let's build communities rooted in solidarity, equity, and also empowerment. I would like to conclude my tonight's session with dear Ina with a very great sentence. I wanna tell everybody, stay motivated, stay connected, and continue leading with purpose. Again, thank you so much, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed our tonight's session. Time is over, and I would like to see you in other meetings. Goodbye. Have a nice time.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you so much, Miss Anna. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for this important session.
Thank you. Thank you for participating.